Peter, Paul, and Mary Magdalene. The Followers of Jesus in History and Legend, by Bart Ehrman. Narrated by Gardner. Copyright 2006 by Bart Ehrman. This unabridged audiobook is published by arrangement with Bart Ehrman and Oxford University Press, and was produced in the year 2006 by Tantor Media Incorporated, which holds the copyright thereto. Dedication to the entire Beckwith clan: Jack, Barbara, Tommy, Mike, Simon, James, Julia, Peter, Gil, Holly, Emily, and Charlie, for welcoming me and letting me listen in. Preface. The hardest part in writing a book about three such prominent figures of the past as Simon Peter, the Apostle Paul, and Mary Magdalene is knowing what to leave out. So much could be said, especially where our evidence is so abundant, as in the cases of Peter and Paul, about whom very large books can be and have been written. I can't include everything here. For my friends in the field who think I could have done more, let me say that, well, I agree. For everyone else, let me say that I've tried to include the best bits. I have written this book for the non-specialist who is interested in these figures from early Christianity but doesn't know much about them. These three could, in fact, be considered the key players at the foundations of the most important historical, cultural, social, political, and, of course, religious institution of Western civilization, the Christian Church. But not only are they historically significant, they are also endlessly fascinating. Many readers may not know much about Peter, Paul, and Mary as historical figures, that is, what they actually said and did during their lives, both before and after the death of Jesus. But most readers will almost certainly not know the stories widely circulated about them in later times. The legends about Peter's spectacular miracles converting entire cities, Paul preaching that salvation comes only to those who refuse to have sex, or Mary setting sail in a rudderless boat, only to arrive in France, where she became the first missionary. I would like to acknowledge several scholars who have selflessly read my manuscript and made helpful comments on it, in hopes that I would somehow make it as good as they might wish. Dale Martin, professor at Yale and one of the top scholars in the field, who has the dubious distinction of being my oldest friend in the business. Andrew Jacobs from the University of California at Riverside, a former student, though a Dookie, whose keen insights are sometimes beyond belief. Stephanie Cobb from Hofstra University, another former student who has in these latter years developed a deft touch with her mean red pen. The anonymous and extraordinarily smart reader for Oxford University Press who pushed me hard and brought me kicking and screaming into important revisions. And my wife, Sarah Beckwith, a professor of English at Duke who is an intellectual nonpareil and a person and partner extraordinaire. In addition, my talented editor and friend at Oxford University Press, Robert Miller, has read the manuscript, supported its progress through several stages, and discussed numerous related issues during long nights over fine wine. All authors should be so lucky. Translations of the early Christian literature, including the New Testament, are my own, unless otherwise indicated. For the Hebrew Bible, I have used the New Revised Standard Version.